For our next example, the quotient of the square of a number and 5 times the number. The quotient of the square of a number and 5 times the number. The quotient of the square of a number and 5 times the number. A key word is quotient. That means we're going to divide. We take the quotient of a numerator and a denominator. The numerator is what comes first, the square of a number. We stop when we get to the word and pick up the second part, which is 5 times the number. The numerator is the square of a number, which we'll write as x squared. The denominator is 5 times the number, which we'll write as 5x. And so this translates into x squared over 5x. We're to simplify this. Notice that we have division. We can write our x squared as x. The 5x we write as 5x. And we get the fun part in this one, we get to cancel. So x goes into x one time, x goes into x one time, and that leaves us with 1x for the numerator, which is simply x, and 5 times 1 for the denominator, which is 5. So this one simplifies into x over 5. For our next example, 1/2 of the difference between 4 times a number and 7. 1/2 of the difference between 4 times a number and 7. One half of the difference between 4 times a number and 7. A key phrase here is the fraction 1/2 of. That means we're going to take 1/2 and multiply by whatever follows. 1/2 times, instead of underlining this time, I'm just going to put parentheses around what follows the 1/2 of, because it's the whole thing. 1/2 times, and then in the parentheses we'll write the difference between 4 times a number and 7. Inside the parentheses, the key word is difference, which tells us to subtract and keep the order that the words are written. The difference between two things. One of them is 4 times a number. We get to the word and that connects to the second thing, which is 7. 4 times a number is written 4x. 7, the second number, follows the subtraction sign. And so we get 1/2 times the expression 4x subtract 7. We have a fraction multiplied by the parentheses. Inside the parentheses we cannot combine terms because they're not like terms. And so the best we can do is rewrite this as 1/2 times 4x add -7, and then use the distributive property. 1/2 will be multiplied by 4x, 1/2 will be multiplied by -7, and so we get 1/2 times 4x plus 1/2 times negative 7. 1/2 times 4x plus 1/2 times negative 7. 1/2 times 4x is, canceling the 2, 2 goes into 2 once, 2 goes into 4 2 times. 1 times 2x is 2x over 1, which is simply 2x, plus, there's nothing that can cancel here. The negative 7 is understood to have a denominator of 1, and so we get negative 7 over 2. Or, writing it in the best form, 2x subtract 7/2. 2x subtract 7/2. Now let's do some exercises. Your instructions are just slightly different from the first group of exercises. The instructions say, translate into a variable expression, then simplify. Notice the difference is this phrase, this sentence rather, then simplify. Be sure to simplify the results. Exercise number 1 reads, 6 times a number increased by 3 less than the number. 6 times a number increased by 3 less than the number. Exercise 2. The product of 4 and the difference between 8 and half of a number. The product of 4 and the difference between 8 and half of a number. The product of 4 and the difference between 8 and half of a number. Exercise 3. The ratio of twice a number and the cube of the number. The ratio of twice a number and the cube of the number. Be sure you have copied these problems correctly. Then stop the tape, work the problems, and restart the tape to check your answers. The answer for number 1 is 6x plus, in parentheses, x subtract 3. When you have completed the simplification, the final answer should be 7x subtract 3. For exercise number 2, 4 times, in parentheses, 8 subtract 1/2 x, close the parentheses. When you have finished simplifying, the final answer should be 32 subtract 2x. For exercise 3, the answer should be 2x over x cubed. When you have finished simplifying, it will be 2 over x squared. If you made mistakes and you cannot determine what caused the problem, be sure to mark these problems on your notes and take your notes with you when you go to the lab so you can get help from a lab instructor or a tutor. This concludes math tape number 065.